Wasn't that inspiring? Truly, as AdAsians, we are one family, and together we can make the change. I hope you feel the vibe and sense of spirit, of camaraderie and togetherness, and all the possibilities that lie ahead. In the next couple of days, ladies and gentlemen, you will discover the opportunities that unfold from sharing one vision and having a collective dream. So do brace yourselves for all the adventures that are certainly going to come your way. Now, to tell you more, it's my pleasure to welcome on stage a gentleman, but I just need a minute while these gentlemen clear the stage. You know, I am not officially an AdAsian like you all, but unofficially I count myself as one, because I was there in Thailand when we bid for the AdAsia to be held in India, and we won. And then I was there when the handing over happened in KL, and I'm here hosting it for you. So I have unofficially announced myself as an AdAsian. Well, let me invite on stage, thank you, self-proclaimed. It's my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to invite on stage Mr. Madhukar, the CEO and Managing Director of Mudra Group and Chairman Organizing Committee of AdAsia 2011. But first, I'd like to invite on stage Ms. Vern, Vice President, Malaysia Advertising Association, to hand over the gavel to the Chairman, AdAsia 2011, Mr. Kamath. The gavel, as you AdAsians are all well aware, is symbolic of the official handing over of the Congress. So it's Malaysia 2009 handing over to India 2011.
Can I request Ashish Bagga and Bhaskar Das,
sure,
two of the very many colleagues who helped us put this together, but without these two gentlemen, this wouldn't have been possible. I don't think we have Dr. Bhaskar Das here yet, putting together everything else for the fabulous content to come in. But this gavel will be accepted on his behalf also. That's the gavel. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Ashish,
you, Ms. Bird.
Ashish, can take this?
Madhukar, may I request you to please kindly say a few words, wherever you're comfortable.
Okay.
Your pick.
Welcome, everybody. It's barely, less than 12 hours since we met most of you in this room. We shared an evening of festivity. I know we kept you hungry slightly, but then we got you going. It was a pleasure to see all AdAsians making music together during Taufik's session. It was a pleasure to see the Z streets of Delhi. I'm glad you're here. To those of you who are not here, who really missed out on something very good, well, welcome again. This AdAsia is setting new records in terms of setting standards for what AdAsias have to be, with the whole world, with the whole Western world looking towards the East, with focus particularly on India, China, and other Asian tigers, as they're called. It is appropriate that we occupy center of stage. For the next 3 days, there are going to be personalities from all across the world, nearly 50 personalities from all across the world, and even the distinguished people from our own country, who are going to debate, discuss, and have 20 intellectually stimulating sessions. So these 1,200 delegates coming across from about 25 countries would be welcome to enjoy each and every session. We are having glorious themed lunches, themed dinners. I'm not making a house announcement. I just want to welcome by saying you're all our guests. And once you enter the doors, you're all AdAsians. So without any further ado, I think we need to go ahead with the entire program. I'd like to first introduce Mr. Pradeep Guha, the chairman of AFA, and also request each one of the heads of the delegations of the AFA delegations to come up, as I call them. Bangladesh, Mrs. Gitiara Safia Chowdhury. Indonesia, Mr. Andy Sada. Japan, Mr. Hiroshi Uchida. Korea, Mr. Lee Soon Dong. Malaysia, Datuk Vincent Lee. Nepal, Rajkumar Bhattarai. Pakistan, Mohammad Imran Syed, leading a 90-strong delegation. Philippines, Mr. Jones Campos. Singapore, Mr. Anthony Kang. Taipei, Mr. Michael Su. Thailand, Mr. Paramas Ranchuban. UAE, Mr. Tanveer Kanji. Our friends from Vietnam and the host of the next AdAsia 2013, Mr. Din Qua Nu. And our own, leading an 800-strong delegation from India, Mr. Kurush Grant. And finally, the Secretary of AFA from Malaysia, Mr. J. Matthews. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause to the delegation. They've led to the leaders. Ladies and gentlemen on the stage, the delegates for AdAsia 2011. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Mr. Pradeep Guha, the chairman of AFA, a veteran of AFA, a person who needs no introduction in this country of ours, and a person who had masterminded AdAsia 2003 in Jaipur. It's a privilege to have you here. I know you'll talk of handing down responsibility that you had over the last 2 years, but it's wonderful to have you here. Will you please say a few words?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to India. Welcome to AdAsia 2011. It's my honor and pleasure to chair this gala event on behalf of the Asian Federation of Advertising Associations, an organization that serves as the voice of the advertising and media industries in Asia, promoting free commercial speech. I've taken a sneak preview of the lineup of events organized by Madhukar and his team. Must say, everything looks just fantastic. Having served as the organizing committee chairman at AdAsia in Jaipur 2003, I'm aware of the efforts that go into an event as large as this. A big thank you to them for getting this show on the road. The topic of this year's conference, Uncertainty is the New Certainty, is something we have all attempted to grapple with over the years as a universal truth of life, change. Only this time, it's a total break with the past, a radical revolution brought about by the advancing juggernaut of technology that has been galloping ahead since the past 2 decades. The country AdAsia returns to after 8 years has seen much of this change. The buoyancy of economic growth has been tempered only by global economic phenomena. While the dogged inwardness of the Indian economy for over 4 decades has frustrated international investors, there were mixed feelings about this same insulation saving the country from the abject effects of the global slowdown, helped, of course, by the middle-class Indians' fiscal prudence and our gradually strengthening domestic economy. India is perhaps the only country in the world where two amazing time-related statistical facts coexist and almost overlap. The average age of the population, which is 25 years, and the history of its liberalization with free flow of goods, services, information, and technology, which is about 20 years old. Hence, the country's neo-economic experience following Dr. Manmohan Singh's following Dr. Manmohan Singh's 1991 liberalization watershed and population, which is roughly of the same age, that clearly defines a BC and an AD phase in the country's entire post-independence existence. Anyone born after 1990 has no memory, even a faint one, of a socialist India balanced in the twin prongs of guilt and caution with limited items of consumption and no concept of luxury. But the new 20-somethings' life bears no resemblance to their parents' socialist privations. They are young and they're having a ball. Consumption is the new religion, if you will. But liberalization is as exclusive as it is inclusive, and its lopsided growth has serious fallouts, eventually, as we are witnessing both in our country and around the world. Whether it's conscientious campaigns like Batti Bandh, the ire-ridden anti-corruption campaigns by Anna Hazare and his team, the virulent Occupy Wall Street march in the United States, or the more serious political reconfigurations in the Middle East, these are all signs of uneven growth benefiting some and marginalizing others to desperation and defiance. And it's the online world of social media which has suddenly made expressions of the discontent very real and far-reaching. Therefore, it'll be crucial for us as businesses and as nations to keep an eye on inclusive growth. As we move ahead, we have typically either sacrificed the inclusive to aggressive growth plans or upheld populist inclusiveness at the cost of growth. To integrate the two takes as much commitment as it does a sense of imagination. And one of the things that will be crucial to inclusive growth will be the preserving of our unique culture. For better or worse, our idiosyncrasies are our strength as much as our weakness. Whether it's encouraging indigenous arts and giving them commercial platform or giving a voice to local languages, enterprises, or concerns, we have to remain essentially Indian because that is the best way to go global. As advertising professionals, we know that the cornerstone of our business is providing consumers the freedom of choice, day on day, every day. However, it's our duty as an industry and individuals to not mark unsustainable and unethical options under the garb of free choice. To stay relevant as an industry, we must lead the crusade to make freedom of choice an ethical affair. The next 2 days promise a great array of speakers and entertainment, and I hope everyone here has a great Congress and leaves Delhi with a little more than they came with. Thank you.